guys, my name is Luca from AudioTribe YouTube channel, and in this video we will make a cross comparison review between the JBL Boombox 4 versus the Sony ULT Field 7. So finally we have a direct competitor for the Sony ULT Field 7, that is the JBL Boombox 4. In this video we will make an intensity test, a bass test, a sound test, and we will see which is better between these two speakers, because you will see at the end that the results will probably amaze you. So let's talk about the specs. The JBL Boombox 4 has 200 watts of power that comes from two 5-inch woofers and two tweeters. Of course, it has a bass boost button. That means we can switch between the no bass boost, deep bass, and punchy bass. Of course, when you switch between the bass styles, the lights will move, you see. So no bass, no light, deep bass, red light, and punchy bass, purple light. And I think this is a very good improvement. We will leave it on the bass part. Of course, the JBL Boombox 4 has the AudioTribe multi-connection button. That means you can connect with multiple JBL speakers. It has this battery level that indicates the battery, and of course it has 200 watts of power when it is connected to the power source, just like in this case, and when it is not, it has only 180 watts of power. And similar with the Sony ULT Field 7, both of them have internal battery that lasts up to 30 hours of playing time. And now the Sony ULT Field 7, we don't know the wattage power, but we know that it has 45 watts power consumption, and it has two woofers and two tweeters. So we can definitely say that both of them have the same construction, two woofers and two tweeters. Now let's see the interface buttons. We can swipe between two levels of bass. So now it doesn't have a bass boost activated. The first one is deep bass, and the last one it is the punchy bass, similar with the JBL Boombox 4. Of course, we have the buttons here, and similar with the JBL Boombox 4, the Sony ULT Field 7 have lights on the passive radiators, but the lights of the Sony speakers change between red, green, blue, or other colors, while the JBL only has these two colors. Now let's see on the back. These are the inputs of the Sony ULT Field 7, and the inputs of the JBL Boombox 4, it is only this small USB-C, and that's it. So we can definitely tell that the Sony ULT Field 7, it has better inputs. Now the main thing, it is the power, the loudness, the intensity, and the bass. And for that I will put at around 1.5 meters, a decibel meter, to measure the power of the sound. We will put it on dBc because we don't care about the loudness, we care about the intensity. And we will gonna set it on the maximum value. And as you see, it is placed exactly in the middle of these two speakers. First one will be the JBL Boombox 4 at the maximum level of sound with the equalizer put on JBL signature, and of course with the deep bass activated.
Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yeah, go, go, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range, cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go.
And that was the sound test with the JBL Boombox 4. the sound that comes from the JBL Boombox 4. It is amazing. It is very loud, it is very intense, and you can definitely feel the bass. So it reached a maximum peak of 104.5 decibels, and I can definitely tell you that it sounds very good. And let's go to the Sony ULT Field 7 to see how much intense will this be.
Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yeah, go, go, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range, cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They'll deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still.
The Sony ULT Field 7 sounds very good, but we can definitely felt that the sound, it is not that intense. The measurement was 104.3, but in real life I can definitely tell you that the JBL Boombox 4 sounds a little bit better. Now I will do something that I don't do on this channel, and let me show you. So I have connected both of the JBL and the Sony speakers to this phone, and now let's see individually the sound.
They'll see with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low,
This was the JBL.
feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go,
This is clear. So in my opinion, the JBL Boombox 4 sounds much better, much louder, much intense, and the bass, it is much stronger. But let's see how the decibel meter will say about this song. And you see it reaches 105.9. Both of them play simultaneously. So to see the bass, we will put the decibel meter on DBC and we will put a 50 Hz flat to see how good it is the bass. First one will be the JBL Boombox 4. So let's put the decibel meter on the maximum value, DBC, and let's increase. Oh, the house is shaking. Okay, let us see the membranes. So on 50 Hz, the JBL Boombox 4 recorded a maximum peak of 93.2 decibels. Now let's see how the Sony will do. Let's reset the decibel meter, put on DBC, maximum value, and increase in power. Only the Sony speaker to beat 93.2. Let us see the membranes. Okay, so the membrane moves, but only 91.4 dBc. And please let me try something. DBC maximum value I have connected both of these speakers together, and now let's increase in power to see if it will be much better than only one. So the best one was 93.2, the JBL Boombox 4, but together, look at the volumes. Okay, we made the measurements, and one speaker it is much better than the other one. So we made the intensity test, and the JBL Boombox 4 recorded the maximum peak of 104.5 decibels, while the Sony ULT Field 7 recorded a maximum peak of 104.3. So it was a difference by only 0.2 decibels. But in real life, I can definitely tell you that the sound that comes from the JBL Boombox 4, it was much intense, much better, and much more balanced than the sound that comes from the Sony ULT Field 7. Of course, both of them was with the first level of bass boost activated. Now we made the second test, the bass test, and the JBL Boombox 4 recorded a maximum peak of 93.2, while the Sony ULT Field 7 recorded a maximum peak of 91.4. That means the JBL it is with 2 decibels stronger in bass than the Sony ULT Field 7. And of course, when I connected both of them and played the 50 Hz flat simultaneously on both, we recorded a maximum peak of 96.8. That means when you add a second speaker, the bass will improve much more, and you can definitely feel that almost these two shake the house a little bit, but not that much. Of course, a 320 will be much better. As sound intensity, the JBL Boombox 4 it is better. As intensity in bass, the JBL Boombox 4 is better. And in my opinion, even in design, even in the passive radiators, even in the lights of the passive radiators, the JBL Boombox 4 it is better. Both of them have the waterproof capabilities, the dustproof, the rustproof capabilities. Both of them have internal battery that lasts almost 30 hours of playing time, and both of them sounds very good. But it was clear that the JBL Boombox 4 was better. Of course, it doesn't have the inputs of the Sony speaker, but it depends very much on what you want from the speaker, you know. So let's talk about the price, because even the price it is very different. The Sony ULT Field 7 cost around $350, while the JBL Boombox 4 cost around $500. So the difference in price it is with $150 more on the JBL Boombox 4. So it is worth it. It sounds better. It is probably with 10% more intense than the Sony ULT Field 7, and for $150, I don't know. If you don't care about the manufacturer of these speakers, just go with the Sony speaker. But yes, the JBL Boombox 4 sounds better, it is more louder, and the bass it is stronger. So I will choose the JBL Boombox 4 instead of the Sony ULT Field 7. But you will not be wrong if you'll choose the Sony ULT Field 7, but because the differences between these two are not that much. So I am very curious, did you expect that the JBL Boombox 4 was better than the Sony ULT Field 7? Remember, the Sony ULT Field 7 it is a direct competitor to the old JBL Boombox. Please tell me in the comments. Until then, feel free to subscribe to AudioTribe YouTube channel and hit that like button. Cheers!